and now you're in
Yep.
Columbus. And I'm not expecting you to knock on Columbus, of course, but can you kind of talk about what your experience was like in Arizona coming in there as a rookie with a young team? And did you guys kind of like,
Yep.
it feels similar to where you're at now, where a young team with not a lot of expectations, but you kind of showed up and showed out there.
Man, I've been so lucky. Obviously, getting drafted to a team like Arizona wasn't something that I was really totally accustomed to. But got down here, awesome staff. I mean, awesome place to live. Scottsdale, I don't know if you can really beat that. And it was a great group of guys too. Got to play with guys like Shane Doan, and the list goes on. And learn from them at a young age was definitely something that I don't take for granted. I'm very lucky to say I got that experience. But great three years from kind of a development aspect. Really got my feet kind of going, get my feet underneath me in the league. And unfortunately, we didn't have the success we wanted to, but overall, it was good. And then moved to Montreal, and you said it, it's the hockey mecca of the world, really, between Montreal and Toronto, where I grew up. Those are the two, I mean, really hockey markets in the world, if you think about it. So was lucky enough to play in Montreal, great fan base, great teammates. Again, came up a little bit short from the hockey aspect in success category, but ended up in Columbus. And again, it's totally different. All three of them are totally different, but I've been blessed to have three amazing sets of teammates on some great hockey teams and learn from some great coaches and great training staffs. And the list goes on. Three great fan bases. So it's been fun, man. I don't know what the future has in store. Obviously, no one does, but I'm just enjoying every day for sure.
Hey, so let me get one more here, Roper.
Yeah.
That your time in Montreal, everyone talks about how it's like a fishbowl and it's so tough to play and the media and the pressure and everything. But I feel like you probably had a little bit of experience of what that was like already coming from your old man playing in Toronto and all and because it's the same atmosphere there. I feel like almost. Did you feel that at all? Did it bother you? What was that like for you?
I'm not buying that, man. I get it. People think that and they have their reasons and they can think all they want, but I loved it. It was great. It was an awesome place to play. And you know what? I think it's something that there are things that come with playing in big markets. There's pressure,
Absolutely.
There's this, there's that. But as a kid growing up in Toronto, I think that's what you expect, and that's kind of what you want. You crave that stuff, and it really keeps you accountable. So overall, I mean, my experience in Montreal was outstanding. And I think the whole fishbowl thing is just, I don't know. It doesn't make me mad, but it's almost like I laugh at it because I just don't believe in it. I don't think that's a thing at all. Like, you're getting paid to play the best game in the world. Like, what are you complaining about? It doesn't matter where you play. You know what I mean? So it's all good.
Yeah, Max, when 2015 at the juniors, you were literally shot out of a cannon the whole fucking tournament. Absolutely electric to watch. Was that when you knew you were going to make it, or was it before that? Did you know you were going to make it before that, or was that tournament kind of like, okay, I'm here now, let's do this?
Yeah. I don't want to, like, it's tough because, like, you don't want to sound cocky or arrogant and say, oh, I knew I was going to make it since I was a little kid. But, like, I almost made it to the point where I was like, listen, I'm on this planet to do one thing, and that's to play hockey, and the highest level is the NHL. So I'm gonna do whatever the hell I have to do to get there, you know. And again, I was fortunate enough to grow up with a father that I've already played in the league, and really shared a lot of experiences outside of stick handling and skating, and that there's a lot more to playing in the NHL than just what you guys see on TV. I mean, obviously, Robert can relate to that more than anyone. So it's there's a lot that goes into that, and it's a respect factor, a lot of work ethic, a lot of ups and downs, riding the roller coaster, battling a lot of adversity, and he really helped me kind of prepare for that stuff. So I'm not going to say I was destined to play in the NHL, but it was kind of like there's no other option for me. I was like, I'm going to do whatever the hell I have to do to get there. And I was lucky enough to have some great teammates, play in London in junior, obviously playing the World Juniors with some unbelievable players, won a gold medal there, and just gain a lot of experience. And then, like we talked about, playing three great franchises and organizations, and just trying to enjoy every day because, I mean, it goes quick. I can't believe I'm already in my 7th year. It sucks, but at the same time, hopefully still got a long way to go, and just trying to enjoy it all.
No, I love that, man. I love that. Because, you know, and I know you're trying to be coy there, but like the fact that you, in your mind, you're like, no, I'm playing because I'll do whatever it takes to get there. And I think that's what gets you there. And that's what keeps you there. You know what I mean? So I love that, that you had that mindset. You know, it's funny. I get asked all the time. Some people that maybe don't know exactly the time frames of hockey and whatever, they'll be like, "Oh, so you fought? Did you ever fight Ty Domi?" I'm like, "Are you out of your mind? No, I didn't fight Ty Domi. Like, why would I fight Ty Domi?" Like, and I did have a run-in with your dad, though. I was in New Jersey, and I remember this distinctively because I was at the red line, and there was a whistle, and there was just some scrum, and just he was in front of me, so I grabbed onto him, and I was just like holding him. That dude turned my helmet. He grabbed my ear hole, turned my helmet sideways. I was looking out of my other ear hole, and my helmet was sideways on my head. And then I went to the bench, and the trainer's like, "I gotta take your helmet." And I'm like, "Why?" Dude, it was like my rubber what do you call it? My rubber loop on my ear was like taffy. It was like down to here. It was stretched all the way down to here. That dude just turned my head around on my body. I'm like, dude, I would never fight that guy ever. But I guess for you growing up and coming through and playing, like, did you ever get challenged because of who your dad is? You know what I mean? Where they're like, you know what I mean? Like they just, first of all, I've seen you one punch guys. Like, I know you can throw them, but I'm saying like, did you get challenged because of who your dad is and people just expect you to be a fighter?
Well, first of all, I mean, back to your experience with my dad, he's got a lot of experience with stretching out helmets because have you seen the size of his head? So that makes total sense that he knew what he was doing there. But, honestly, man, like growing up, there's pros and cons of everything, right? And I've just been blessed with opportunities to learn from people that have always said, just make it a positive whenever you think it's a negative. There's always a decision you got to make and you kind of go left or right. And I've always just chose to try and go the high road, which sounds cliche, but I mean, it works out in the end. And the same thing with my dad. I mean, I had opportunities to be around some Hall of Famers at a young age, called them my friends when I was in like grade 3. Like, that's not normal, but it just became normal to me. And I didn't think anything of it. So it was a pretty special opportunity, and I enjoy every second of it, going to the rink, seeing guys, I mean, practice, seeing them in the locker room, how they interact with the community, all that good stuff. So I learned a lot, and I just tried to act as a sponge, and I wouldn't have had access to that kind of stuff if it wasn't for my father. So yeah. I would just try and focus on that kind of stuff when the negative side of things would come in, because, of course, there's going to be people that will, I don't know about challenge. I was never really I was more of a skilled guy when I was younger, always pretty small, so it was never that stuff that really got to me. I would just laugh about that. But it was more so like when you're really young and you have like the parents saying you're only here because you're dad or whatever it is. Like that's the stuff that hits home. And I'm just like, man, come on. But again, like at a younger age, when you get exposed to that kind of stuff, it's garbage, but it helps, develop you as a human being more than a hockey player. So I wouldn't change a thing, man. I'm very lucky. I got a great dad, great mom too. I've learned so much from both of them, and very fortunate to be exposed to the things I've been exposed to based off of my dad's career and the network that he has and friends that he has and all of his teammates for sure.
I also learned that your old man could dance a couple weeks ago. That video surfaced. I saw your tweet on that. What do you have to say about that?
Oh, he's a beauty, man. I love my dad. I mean, he's obviously my best buddy. So we poke fun at each other almost every single day, and he gives it to me just as much as I give to him. So no one needs to feel bad for him whenever you see me chirping him, because he comes right back at me all the time. He's the one that taught me how to do it. So he actually is a pretty good dancer. I'll give him that. I mean, he's a little stiff. He was better when he was younger, I'm sure, but the hips are a little locked up on him now, so he can't get going quite as good. But I mean, again, he's just got this kind of like passion for life and having fun. I mean, he lights up every room he goes into, and he takes it over. So I admire my dad more than anything, and I'm very lucky to learn from someone like that every day. Totally outside of hockey, but hockey included in that. He's a special dude, and I love him. So it's we have lots of fun. I'm sure you guys will see lots more content like that down the road, because
I hope so.
He's starting to figure out this whole social media thing. It's a little bit painful. We'll sit there and look at a picture and have like 50 different little like GIFs or emojis on it, and then like writing like 10 different fonts. I'm like, Dad, I don't even know I'm looking at it anymore. There's like 100 things on the picture. It's like, leave me alone. I'm like, okay, you do you, man. You're loving it. So whatever makes you happy. But he's a beauty for sure.
Yeah,